Now, if you notice, all of these trinomials have something in common. They all have x squared, where the number in front of x squared is a 1. So in that form, ax squared plus bx plus c, a is 1. And they also have the relationship that if you take half of b, the middle term, the coefficient of x, and then you square it, you get c, the constant value. So take half of b, then square it to get c. All right, that works for all of these. So like if you take half of negative 10, that would be negative 5. Then if you square negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. Isn't that our c value? All right, same thing here. If I do half of 6, I get 3. If I do 3 times 3, or 3 squared, I get 9. So I designed these trinomials on purpose to show you the relationship between the b and the c values when you have perfect square trinomials. Perfect square trinomials are going to be important when we learn how to complete the square. All right, so if we want to find the value of c to make a perfect square, make a perfect square trinomial. Let's say we have x squared plus 4x plus blank. What does that c value have to be a perfect square? Well, remember, you take half of the b value. B is 4. So take half of that. So half of 4 would be 2. And then square it. So 2 squared would be 2 times 2, which is 4. So c must be 4. All right, next one. Let's say we're doing x squared minus 14x plus blank. What does that blank have to be? Well, first we take half of b. B is negative 14. Half of negative 14 is negative 7. Now, if we take negative 7 and square it, make sure you have parentheses around it. It's really negative 7 times negative 7. Negative times a negative is a positive, positive 49. So that would be positive 49. And these both make sense because if you were to factor these, let's say you were to factor this first one here. Diamond. Multiply and add to 4. That would be 2 and 2. Excuse me. So it would be x plus 2, x plus 2. It's a perfect square because it's something times itself. Same thing here. We're adding to negative 14 and we're multiplying to 49. That would be 7 and 7, but they have to both be negatives to add to a negative 14. So negative 7, negative 7. Notice how the factors are the same. Anything times itself is a perfect square. So this would also be a perfect square trinomial. We did it correctly. Notice how, too, no matter if b is negative or b is positive, your c value will always be positive. If you're squaring a number, regardless of if it's a positive number or a negative number, you're always going to end up with a positive c value.